Hey there everyone, this is yet another video that I'm producing for my latest Craigslist posting for a vintage sewing machine. Those of you who've seen my posts or videos know I restore domestic sewing machines and I only work on those from the vintage era. These are machines I consider to be heirloom quality. They're all steel and they have been running for generations, and they should run for generations more. Very often when I find them, they have been sitting for a long time. And or even if they haven't, they need to be serviced. They need to have some adjustments made, and quite a few things that you'll see on the posting. You'll see a lot of the photographs I take. I take quite a lot of pictures when I restore a machine, so those of you who may have no idea what's involved can kind of see the time and effort that goes into it. Once you have a machine that's been restored, though, the care and maintenance that you would have for the machine is pretty low. You're going to be cleaning things like the lint from your feed dogs, which you do on any machine, new or old. And then you'll just add oil with the beginning of each project, which is very simple. This machine that you're looking at it's one of my favorite designs, because when many people think of old sewing machines, at least in terms of American brands, they think of Singer, and Singer was the biggest manufacturer. Well, right behind Singer, right on their heels, was the second biggest manufacturer, and that was the White Company. They made machines for many years, but probably their most famous machine was called the White Rotary. And I think I've had a few videos with White Rotaries that I've put on Craigslist before. Well, this machine is the Kenmore Deluxe Rotary, and of course it's actually the same machine. It was made by White. All of these rotary machines, domestic, Kenmore, Franklin, Dressmaster, and of course under the White name, they were all the same machine. But of course Sears went to them and had them private label the Kenmore name, which of course many of you recognize from Sears. So again, while you may think Singer, whenever you see a rotary machine, it's a straight stitcher from this period, you're looking at a machine that was very common. And a lot of people got their first credit at Sears. People would get married and they didn't have much credit. They could go to Sears, open up an account, and that's why Sears sold a lot of sewing machines. The other reason, of course, is that Sears had an unconditional guarantee on its products back then. Sears was really something back in the day. And so when you bought something from a Sears or Montgomery Ward or JCPenney, those types of retailers, which were catalog companies originally, you got really high quality stuff. Because when you put those kind of guarantees on your products, the retailers had to be really strict in what they bought. So anyway, I'm going to be showing this to you today. It's going to be posted on Craigslist soon, and you're going to see it does straight stitch. It is a very strong machine, and it has a rubber pulley drive, and so this particular design does not use a belt, so you won't have belts to change. It has a bobbin winder on the front, has reverse, and then of course you can do stitch length control. The primary reason, of course, for the video, though, is to show you it working. Now I'm in the sunroom today. It's a little cloudy, but it has a little light on the front, but I'm going to keep that off. I think the sewing will show up a little bit better. So I'm going to start off, and what you're seeing is I'm doing a long straight stitch. You can see I can get a nice slow needle control. I can go backward to back tack to lock in my stitch. And the reason this is called a rotary is because the shuttle hook, which is down in the bobbin area, for those of you who are new to sewing machines, it spins 360 degrees, and so you get really consistent and straight stitches, really wonderful stitches actually. This first fabric I'm doing here is a sort of a lightweight muslin cotton fabric. But I'm going to start out showing you these stitches, and you see they're just beautiful, really consistent. And the bobbin thread, I've got top thread is red, the bobbin thread is white. So I'm not even sure if it's going to show up, but I'll try to get her to focus in for you. Here we go. Yeah, it sort of shows up, but I wanted you to see the balance stitches. And of course I've got other fabrics that I want to show you. One of the great reasons to buy a vintage machine, other than the fact that they are so much more durable than the new ones, is that they're very powerful and strong. This is where I've been doing some test stitching. I always test my machines before I list them, but I'm going to run it back through so you can see. And of course this is part of a cargo pant. It's maybe medium weight cotton, but it's going to have a very dense seam as cargo pants and things like jeans have. It's going to have it on two sides, so it's going to be going through quite a few layers. And I think you'll see that the machine is more than strong enough to do this. A lot of new machines will not sew this kind of material for you. So I'm just going to let it feed right under, make sure that that seam goes under the foot. And just do my back tacking here. I'll make another pass for you guys. It's really just an amazing thing. You would think that all machines can do this, but almost none of the new ones can do it anymore. So what you're going to see here is, if you'll notice the way the thread goes right across from the fabric right across the seam, it doesn't lose tension, right? And it doesn't change direction. It doesn't get crooked. You can even see this on the bobbin thread on the back. This is a symbol, one symbol of a great sewing machine. I'm going to sew for you. And the Kenmore versions of these machines had a feature. For example, here's the presser foot down. Here it is up, which is pretty normal. But now notice I can get a lot more. I can pull it even further up, and that's going to help me get underneath here. I think I'll go in this direction. Let's see here. It's going to help me get under the foot, and I'm going to be able to sew a really dense, this is 4 layers of a really heavy upholstery fabric, kind of a fluffed out fabric here. And again, she just sews right along. And I'm going to back tack. And I have got a size 16 jeans needle in this machine at the moment, but of course you can use leather tip needles. And again, the machine does not complain, and that's just one of the really nice things about a vintage machine, is that they are of a level of quality that's so high that you can take on some of these heavier fabrics when you need to. You're not going to always need to do that. I mean, when you're get my little thread tails here, pull back. Many of you are simply going to sew clothing with this, and it'll sew forever. But I like the fact that you can sew some heavy stuff. Now, lastly, I'm going to show you guys some garment leather. This is soft garment leather that you might use for a wallet, maybe a handbag. And I'm going to run this through. Now, I've already tested another machine with it with the white, but this is red thread, so you'll know which stitches here are new. And with leather, you'll notice that the machine wants to hesitate, and that has partly to do with, very often you want to jump start a machine, and that's always going to be true when you're sewing leather. Leather has a density. It's not that it's thicker than the fabric I just sewed with. You'll see it back tack. But what you'll find is that leather has a density, and I am using a jeans needle. If you're going to sew garment leather, you really want to take a leather tip needle, and this machine will certainly take those. And when you do that, it really helps because it makes the machine's job a little bit easier. Okay? And this is slightly thicker garment leather than normal, but again, the machine, you'll notice as it sews, it doesn't really hesitate. And I'm sewing fairly fast for leather sewing. But what you're seeing is a machine that has a tremendous amount of power. And again, the tip type of your needle makes a big difference in the way the needle bar will puncture any material. So again, if you're going to sew any kind of, see if I can get it to focus here for you guys. Here we go. Yeah. If you're going to sew any kind of, I'm crazy about my focus here. What's going on? There we go. I want to make sure you guys could see what I was trying to show you. Really nice stitches in garment leather, and then not sure if the white The white on the back is by bobbin thread. You can see those are really nice strong stitches. Like I say, if I were going to be sewing leather with this, other than just doing the video, I'd use a leather tip needle. But again, just beautifully powerful machine. Comes with bobbins, and it'll actually include several. I think I've got a buttonholer for this particular version. But if you have any questions, send me an email. I'd be happy to set up a time for you to come and take a look at the machine. You can do some test stitching on it, or if you are new to sewing, I can sew on it for you and demonstrate it even further, and should be able to answer any questions you've got. So anyway, thanks for watching, and just contact me if you are interested in taking a look. Thank you.